So you're ready to start doing blast furnace. First of all, turn on entity hider. Get rid of all these people. It's a distraction. You don't need distractions. It's going to prevent you from being the best. Secondly, you're going to want to make sure you have the blast furnace plugin, and you're going to want to make sure it's enabled. Two reasons for that. Reason one, when it's enabled, these click boxes are very easy to see. And reason two, when it's enabled, your coffer tracks how much time you have, and it also tracks whatever kind of ores you have available in the melting pot. Another useful plugin to have is the bank tag layouts plugin. This one you will find on the external plugin hub. This one is super useful because any activity you're doing, you can duplicate item stacks so that you don't accidentally misclick something. And you can also have it set to where anything you're wearing is automatically included in this tab. So then literally just click the tab, you're ready to go for that activity. A couple useful things to have since we're here talking about them. Graceful, very useful to have. Ring of Endurance, very useful to have, especially if it's charged. The more charged, as long as it has at least 500 charges or more, every time you dose a stamina potion, you will double the effect of it, the duration, the energy restoration. So that's just literally twice the dosage for your time. The two things that are completely required for this particular method, however, are these ice gloves and these goldsmithing gauntlets. Another really handy thing you can do, and this is something new that was released, I believe, this year, is the bank item options. If you shift right click an item in your inventory while in the bank, you can lock and unlock that slot, preventing that item from getting deposited. Doesn't matter how many times I click this, that's not going anywhere. I can pull out this gold, put it right back. The gloves don't move. A lot of people said this would be useful for rune crafting. They're not wrong there, but it's also useful for a lot of other things. One of those things that it is useful for, obviously, blast furnace. Before we get into the actual method, there's one last thing I want to talk about, and that is this box around me, also known as your true tile indicator. In the RuneLite plugin options here, if you search tile indicators, you want to make sure your true tile is highlighted. The reason for that is we will be timing the passing of this tile with the passing of this marked tile here. That timing is very important to maintain a flow state and get pretty decent XP rates. As you can see here, I was doing this for quite a while and got averaging 370k XP per hour. It was pretty decent. Let's get into the method itself. So you're at the bank, right? You're ready to go. You got your first spot locked. You got your gear on. You can start by sipping a stamina if you want, or you can wait. Doesn't really matter. Zoom out of the bank enough to where you can see the conveyor belt from here. You're going to click on over there. You're going to add the ore to the belt, and it's going to drop, right? You'll get twice the XP for gold if you're wearing these gauntlets. Notice here how it's showing I have 26 ore in the melting pot. I also have 28 bars in the melting pot. I'm going to need to put my ice gloves on so I can interact with the bar dispenser as they're molten, way too hot to touch normally. From here it's going to bring up this interface. If I hit space, it's going to put them into my inventory. If I were to just close this message here that says you take 27 gold bars from the dispenser, I'm going to miss out on the proper XP due to not wearing my goldsmithing gauntlets for the remaining 26 ore that's in that pot. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to click the goldsmithing gauntlets, and that's going to close this dialog, which will give me the proper XP drop. The reason we do it in this particular manner is to maintain bars to be collected at all times in the dispenser. As you pass by this, you want to make sure that when your true tile highlights the marked tile, you interact with the bar dispenser. The moment you interact with the bar dispenser, hit space, click your gloves, click the bank. Just like that. It's very, very quick. So now here I'm going to show why you want to maintain bars available in the dispenser at all times. Because otherwise, you gotta wait for the gold So not only hit there, but then hit the dispenser. You then have to put your gloves on to take them out. Sure, you don't have to do that weird glove swap, but there's downtime constantly, right? So we go back over here, right? And plus, if you forget to do the glove swap, you put your gold in, and then crap, you got half the XP, right? So you just wasted 27 gold. There's just so much downtime. It's kind of clunky. It doesn't really work great. So when you go to start this up, the first thing you want to do, keep your goldsmith glance on. Let that drop in. Just ignore it. Notice how it's there. It has the cool or whatever. You can just zip right past. Grab your second inventory of gold, or you have your bars available. You're going to drop it in, and then you don't have to wait at all for the bars. Sure, with this method, you are losing the proper XP on 1 bar every inventory. But you can do 2.5 inventories in the time it would take someone to do the waiting method, as there is little to no downtime for those bars. The entire reason why you want to always have bars to pick up is because this bar dispenser becomes an uninteractable object for about 2 game ticks while it's receiving and dispensing the gold ore. So for example, we put the ore on the belt, it travels the belt, and then going from check bar dispenser to nothing for 2 game ticks to now take bar dispenser are our options on said bar dispenser. Checking it doesn't do us any good because we're not pulling any gold from it, right? So for example, right now I can check it, which is cool and all, but I can't get XP from doing that. So even if I were to try and get my timing perfect, right? I put the bars there, I run over, I don't even have an option to take. I can check. That's great, it doesn't contain any bars. That doesn't help me. I can still watch my gold ore fall in, but I can't interact with taking the bars prior to the gold ore actually being there, which is why you want gold available, because instead of having to wait here for the gold to dispense, you can just grab the bars and head to the bank and get your XP drop on the way. It's significantly better over a long term.